Imagine waking up one morning to find out that $2.1 trillion just left your neighborhood. Not stolen, not lost, just moved. That's enough money to buy every home in California. Twice. And the company moving it? BlackRock. The biggest money manager on planet Earth. They control more money than most countries will ever see. And right now, they're making the biggest bet against America in modern history. But here's what nobody's telling you. This isn't just about rich people playing Monopoly with billions. This is about your job, your savings, and your future. So what does BlackRock know that you don't? Let's start with the basics. BlackRock isn't a bank. It's not a hedge fund. Think of it as the world's biggest babysitter. For money. When your parents save for retirement, that money often goes through BlackRock. When governments need someone to manage billions, they call BlackRock. They don't own all this money. They just decide where it goes. And that makes them incredibly powerful. But to understand why they're leaving America, we need to go back to where this all started. Picture this. It's 1988. A guy named Larry Fink just had the worst day of his career. He lost $100 million in a single bad bet. Most people would quit. Larry did something different. He created a system, a computer program that could calculate risk better than any human. He called his company BlackRock, and he had one rule: never lose money. Fast forward to today. BlackRock manages $10 trillion. That's more than the economies of Japan and Germany combined. They own a piece of almost everything. Apple, BlackRock owns part of it. Disney, BlackRock. Amazon, BlackRock. In fact, if you look at any major company in America, there's a good chance BlackRock is one of the biggest shareholders. But here's where it gets interesting. For the first time in decades, BlackRock is saying, America isn't the safest bet anymore. So what changed? Let me tell you a story about a bakery. Imagine you own a bakery in a town. For years, your town was the best place to bake. Customers everywhere, great ingredients. Everyone wanted your bread. But slowly, things started changing. Ingredients got more expensive. Customers started shopping at bakeries in other towns. The rent went up. You didn't do anything wrong. The town just changed. That's what's happening to America right now. Don't get me wrong, America is still strong, still powerful. But BlackRock's computers see something most of us miss. They see that America's share of the world economy is shrinking. Not because America is getting smaller, but because other countries are catching up fast. And that's where the $2.1 trillion comes in. BlackRock is moving that money to 3 places. First, Asia, especially India and Vietnam. Why? Because they're young. Their populations are growing. Their middle class is exploding. Think about it like this. If you're selling bicycles, would you rather sell to a town with 100 people or 1,000 people? India alone will add more middle-class consumers in the next 10 years than the entire population of America. That's a lot of people buying stuff. Second, the Middle East. Countries like Saudi Arabia and UAE have been saving money from oil for decades. Now they're spending it, building cities, creating businesses, investing in technology. They're basically asking, what if we built America, but with unlimited money and no old rules to worry about? And BlackRock wants a piece of that action. Third, emerging markets everywhere else. Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia. Now, these places used to be considered risky, unstable, dangerous for investment. But BlackRock's computers are saying something different now. The biggest risk is not investing in these new markets. It's not investing in them. But why now? What's the rush? To understand that, we need to talk about something called the everything bubble. For the past 15 years, America did something unusual. After the 2008 crisis, the government basically printed money, lots of it. This made stocks go up, housing prices go up, everything went up. It felt good. Everyone's retirement accounts looked great. But BlackRock's computers noticed something strange. The numbers stopped making sense. Companies were worth billions, but weren't making much money. Houses cost 3 times what people earn, but people kept buying. Everything was expensive, really expensive, and when everything is expensive in one place, smart money looks for bargains somewhere else. Here's where it gets wild. In America, if you want to invest in a growing company, you might pay $30 for every $1 it earns. In India, you might pay $15 for that same $1 of earnings. In Vietnam, maybe $12, same growth, same potential, half the price. It's like finding the exact same iPhone for half price in another store. Of course, you'd shop there. But there's another problem. And this one's messier. America is fighting with itself. Democrats and Republicans can't agree on anything. Elections feel like war. Every 4 years, the rules might completely change. Now imagine you're BlackRock. You're trying to make plans for the next 20 years. But you don't know what the rules will be next year. Will taxes go up or down? Will trade deals stay or go? Will regulations increase or disappear? Nobody knows. But in Singapore, in Abu Dhabi, they know exactly what they're doing for the next 30 years. Let's talk about roads and bridges for a second. I know, boring. But stay with me. In America, the average bridge is 57 years old, roads are crumbling, airports look like they're from 1985. Now look at Shanghai. They built a train station that handles more passengers than all of New York's airports combined. In 2 years. Look at Dubai. They built an entire city in the desert with the world's tallest building, best airport, and fastest transportation. When investors see this, they think, where's the future being built? And increasingly, the answer isn't America. But here's where it gets really interesting. BlackRock isn't stupid. They know something you might not. America is getting old. The average American is 38 years old, and we're having fewer babies than ever. In 20 years, there will be more retired people than working people in many states. Who's going to buy all the stuff? Who's going to work all the jobs? Now look at India. Average age, 28 years old. Indonesia, 29. Philippines, 25. These countries have millions of young people ready to work, buy, build, and grow. If you're BlackRock, that's where the customers of the future are. And then there's the tech revolution. For decades, if you wanted to invest in technology, you invested in America, Silicon Valley. That was it. But something changed. China started making phones just as good as iPhones. Korea made the best computer chips. India created a payment system better than anything America has. The tech revolution went global, and you don't need to be in California to be part of it anymore. Let's talk about the dollar. For 80 years, the US dollar has been king. Every country needed dollars to trade. Oil, paid in dollars. International business, dollars. This gave America a superpower. We could print money and the whole world would use it. It was an incredible advantage. But countries are getting tired of it. China and Russia are trading in their own currencies. The Middle East is talking about accepting payment in other currencies. Slowly, very slowly, the dollar's dominance is weakening, and BlackRock sees it happening. Then there's climate change. Now, I don't care if you believe in it or not. BlackRock's computers don't have opinions. They just calculate risk, and they're seeing that coastal properties in Florida might flood, California might burn, Texas might bake. Meanwhile, countries near the equator are investing billions in adaptation, building resilient cities, creating climate-proof infrastructure. BlackRock isn't making a political statement. They're just following the math. So if America is becoming riskier, more expensive, and more uncertain, where does that leave you? Let's make this personal. You're probably wondering, okay, but what does this mean for my life? Great question. Here's the truth most financial experts won't tell you. If you have a 401k or retirement savings, there's a good chance that some of your money is already managed by BlackRock, which means your money might already be moving overseas. Is that bad? Actually, maybe not. Remember the bakery story? You don't want all your bread in one basket. If America sneezes and all your money is in America, you might catch a cold. But if your money is spread around the world, you're safer. But here's where it hurts. When investment leaves America, jobs eventually follow. Not tomorrow, not next month. But over the next decade, the best jobs might be overseas. Engineers might need to work in Seoul, designers in Singapore, managers in Mumbai. This is already happening. Amazon has more employees in India than in Seattle. Apple builds everything in China. Google's next big AI lab? Tokyo. The world is changing. And BlackRock is just reading the map. But here's the plot twist. This isn't the end of America's story. Let's rewind history for a second. In the 1800s, everyone invested in Britain. They were the superpower, the empire where the sun never set. Then, in the early 1900s, smart investors started moving money to America. Why? Because they saw the future. America had energy, innovation, immigration, growth. Britain was comfortable, rich, powerful, but also old, tired, stuck in its ways. Sound familiar? Here's what BlackRock sees when they look at America today. Yes, we're expensive. Yes, we're fighting politically. Yes, our infrastructure is old, but we still have something nobody else has. Innovation culture. The best universities in the world, almost all American. The biggest tech breakthroughs, still mostly American. The entrepreneurial spirit, still alive and well. China can copy, India can scale, but America still invents. So here's what's actually happening. BlackRock isn't abandoning America. They're rebalancing. Think of it like a diet. If you've been eating only pizza for 20 years, and suddenly you add salad and chicken, you didn't stop eating pizza. You just made your diet healthier. That's what BlackRock is doing. For 40 years, they put 70% of their money in America. Now they're going to 50-50. That's still $5 trillion in America. But here's why this matters so much. This is America's wake-up call. For decades, America could be lazy, expensive, difficult. It didn't matter. Everyone still invested here because there was no alternative. But now there are alternatives. Lots of them. Singapore is easier to do business in. Estonia has better digital infrastructure. South Korea has faster internet. America has to compete now, really compete. And that might be the best thing that ever happened to us. So what happens next? There are two possible futures. Future 1. America ignores this warning, keeps fighting internally, doesn't fix infrastructure, doesn't invest in education, doesn't adapt. In this future, BlackRock was right to leave. More investors follow. Jobs disappear. The middle class shrinks even more. America becomes like Britain after World War II, still important, still relevant, but no longer dominant. Future 2. America wakes up, uses this as motivation, fixes the roads, invests in the young, streamlines the bureaucracy, remembers how to build fast again. In this future, BlackRock's move becomes the best thing that happened. It forced America to compete, to innovate, to earn its spot at the top. And in 20 years, we look back and say, remember when we almost lost it? That's when we got serious again. Which future we get? That's not up to BlackRock. It's up to us. Okay, real talk. What should you actually do? I'm going to give you 5 concrete actions. 1. Don't panic. Your money isn't disappearing. If anything, having global investments makes you safer. If your retirement fund is diversified globally, that's actually good news. 2. Check your investments. Open your 401k. Look at where your money actually is. If it's 100% US stocks, you might want to rebalance. Talk to a financial advisor. Get some international exposure. Not because America will fail, but because diversity is smart. 3. Think about skills, not just location. The jobs that will survive this shift are the ones that can't be outsourced or automated. Creative work, human connection, problem solving, critical thinking. If your job is repetitive and can be done anywhere, it probably will be done somewhere cheaper. Invest in yourself, learn constantly, stay adaptable. 4. Watch what happens next. This $2.1 trillion move is just the beginning. Other big investors will follow. Pay attention to where money flows. That tells you where opportunity flows. Read the business news, not for entertainment, but to understand the currents moving beneath the surface. Because when you see the pattern early, you can adapt before everyone else panics. 5. Stay hopeful but realistic. America has been counted out before. In the 1970s, everyone thought Japan would overtake us. In the 2000s, everyone feared China would dominate. We're still here, still innovating, still leading in most things that matter. But this time is different because the competition is real and the advantages are smaller. We can win, but only if we try. Here's the thing nobody talks about. BlackRock managing money across the entire world isn't just about profits. It's about something bigger. For the first time in human history, billions of people are lifting themselves out of poverty. Not through war, not through conquest, through trade, innovation, investment. And yeah, that means America shares the stage now. But a rising tide lifts all boats. When India succeeds, they buy American products. When Vietnam grows, they need American technology. When the Middle East builds, they hire American consultants. We're not losing, we're expanding. So back to you. That $2.1 trillion leaving America, it's not a catastrophe. It's a wake-up call, a reality check, a reminder that nothing is guaranteed. The question isn't whether America can compete. We invented modern competition. The question is whether we will compete, whether we'll fight for it, whether we'll adapt. And that brings me to you. You watching this right now? Yes, you. You're the future BlackRock is betting on or against. Are you learning, growing, adapting? Are you paying attention to how the world is changing? Or are you assuming everything will stay the same? Because the investors already made their choice. They're moving their money. Now it's your turn to choose. Build skills that matter. Create value that can't be copied. Stay curious about the world beyond your borders. Make yourself so valuable that it doesn't matter where the money flows, because the opportunities will flow to you. That's how you win in this new world. BlackRock moved $2.1 trillion. And honestly, good. We needed the competition. We needed the wake-up call. Now let's show them why betting against America has always been a mistake. Subscribe for more explained economics. Drop a comment. Are you worried or excited?